your boy ATC. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you fucking with my content. You feel me? And this time we got another review for y'all today. We got Burn the Witch 0.8 episode review/reaction. Let's get started. Episode starts off with Noelle Nahashi encountering a strange telephone booth and a dog. She ends up meeting another character along the way called Balgo. And basically, dude is just obsessed with seeing her paintings. He a big freak daddy, in other words. But she easily takes him down after they have like a little back and forth because, you know, she ain't trying to hear that see your paintings type shit. So she ends up giving him a Sonya Blade kick and a katana uppercut. But you might as well call her Connect 2 because that's what she doing. She connected 2 hits. After this, Noelle ends up entering the booth and she puts a coin inside the telephone booth and the shit is like on some Harry Potter shit. The whole booth started transcending into the ground and she gets transported to a place called Reverse London. And I don't know, just the graphics on how this shit went, like that's the first thing that came to my head. This is some Harry Potter shit, nigga. This shit cool, nigga. Witches and shit, nigga. But yeah. So back on Reverse London, it's a world of dragons where when she gets transported there, she ends up meeting up with, I guess you'll call her another team member. Her name is Nini Spanko. And when we see her, she's actually signing autographs. And they maneuver, her and Noelle end up maneuvering through the crowded area because there's a ton of motherfuckers out there. And when they maneuver through, they end up running through some alleys to make it to where it's looks like a flying dragon bus. I don't know, but the shit was cool for some transportation. Just like, imagine that, a flying dragon bus. But moving along, as they take off to their destination, along the way we end up seeing all different types of dragons, and yeah, you just see some of the beauty of the world, and just I guess some of the creatures that's inside this new world that we're starting to get familiar with, or that it's bringing you to get familiar with as we go along in the episode. After this, they end up arriving at the location, Reverse London's Natural Dragon Management Agency building, where they end up signing in for work, and we get another character introduction. It says W. Piper's the Chief, Billy Banks Jr., who basically, you could call him Chief, like, you know, like some police shit, like he the chief, and basically he giving out instructions to the girls. And after a little back and forth between the chief and the girls, he basically ends up giving them instructions to go to a place called Nine Brook Pastures to do a mission for some dragons. And we also figured out that Nini's a second umbrella with the company, and Noelle's actually a first umbrella. So we see some structure with the witches in the western division of the Soul Society, or the branch per se. But yeah, we see that it's some structure nonetheless. And Nini's a second, Noelle's the first, and that's pretty cool. Also, they don't ride on brooms. These witches ride on dragons. Flips back over to Freak Daddy Balgo though, and he laying in the bed and he thinking about the bad little wizard bitch. How she got the magic. Motherfucker want to see some panties. He is freak mode. He big horny. He really determined and focused at this point. But his friend ended up telling him, like, you know, ain't no such thing as no Reverse London. Like, bitches going through traveling telephone booths. Man, you must be tripping, man. Your panties got you tripping, my boy. You're imagining shit. You must be geeked. But anywho, they end up having a small convo about Balgo's chances of seeing the panties. And he basically get to telling them like, hey man, just try to befriend her first, and how they should all hang out together, and maybe she got a friend or something, like buddy chasing. And he ended up mentioning how he saved Balgo's life when they were 7, so he should try to help him out type shit. Which at this point, I'm like, alright, they ain't just mentioning this shit for no reason. Like, it's gonna have some type of importance later in the story, you feel me? Right after this though, Noelle and Nini end up making it to the Nine Brook Pastures, and they're approached for help by a scientist asking to climb a dragon to gather some grapes, and the grapes just happen to be inside of its nostrils. Like, literally, it's a big tall ass dragon, like some shit off of The Land Before Time or something, and the damn grapes is like some trees and shit in a forest in its nostrils. That I don't know, shit was crazy. Meanwhile, whole time, Balgo and the friend, they end up investigating the disappearing booth because Buddy's just not letting it go. He like, man, no way, bro. I know what I seen type shit. So while he talking to his friend and they holding the dog, a Sushi, I believe the dog's name was, while they holding the dog, when he hands it back to Balgo, the dog end up turning into a fucking dragon. Like, who the fuck was expecting that? So basically, the dog that we just seen earlier in the episode has been hiding and acting like a dog this whole time, but it's really a fucking dragon. Okay. So after this, like, freak accident type shit, we see Noelle and Nini, they get done picking all the grapes out the nostrils, and they end up receiving a call from the chief for an extermination job in South Braxton. So they use this to get there faster, because I'm guessing, you know, they're like, man, we can't be flying all slow and shit. We got to get there on the scene at hand type shit. So to get there faster, they end up using a coin gate. Noelle flips a coin out, and then he pops it, and it opens up a huge ass gate, and they end up going through it. I thought that was spectacular. It was just cool how they did that. But anyway, after using the coin gate portal to travel faster, they arrive in time to confront the big ass dragon that we see the dog turn into. So they get to analyzing the situation, like, oh, okay, this must be the dog or sushi. Like, okay, it then transferred into a dragon. It's one of those types. It can disguise itself. In the midst of this, Nini like, all right, I'm finna go over here and go save Balgo and his friend Selby. But on some Who's Who type shit, literally, go check that shit out by ATC, streaming everywhere. But literally, on some Who's Who type shit, we basically see Balgo's friend Selby turn into a dragon, and he get to attack him. And out of all this shit, in the midst of him attacking, we get to learn that he wants to seek immortality by eating a witch, which goes back to what he was saying earlier about, hey, you should get me around your friends. Like, we can all hang out and chill. Now you understand why he was saying that, because he really want to eat the friend type shit. That's why he want the immortality, live forever. Yeah. But after this, Noelle come in and end up saving Nini, you know what I'm saying, real quick, once they figure out what's the situation and what's going on. And she ends up pulling her away on her dragon type shit. Oh, and if I mentioned already, yeah, these witches don't fly on broomsticks. They fly on dragons. And that's pretty fucking cool. One of them got a red one. One of them got kind of like a light bluish, like turquoise or something. But yeah, they fly on dragons. Cool. But when Noelle come through and she scoop Nini up and they flying away on the dragon, the motherfucker Selby comes up quick. I'm talking about instant, like whew, on their ass, slap her down, like Nini go flying. You know what I'm talking about? And then Balgo hiding, he ends up running over to where Nini is, and he basically protecting her at this point. Him and the Selby get to having a back and forth. He like, no, you be good. I've known you my whole life. All this foolishness. And basically Selby ain't trying to hear that shit. Selby like, fuck that, nigga. I want war. Like, fuck is you talking about? I'm not trying to hear what you trying to say. Like, didn't you hear me? Is you stupid? I'm trying to gain immortality, fool. So he ended up attacking Balgo. And after he attacks Balgo, what ends up happening is Balgo can now see him. And yeah, fuck all that talking and shit. Let's get the head chopping. Then out of nowhere, you see Noelle come down with a get over here and motherfucking snatch his nose, tongue, I don't know what the fuck it was, but snatch that motherfucker here and gave him a damn connection. Do you hear me? Like you putting a plug into the socket, connection. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Activist, purple, leaking everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? All the lean juices is all over everywhere. Yeah, it's a whole lot of purple. He come back in though. The dragon ain't had enough. He come back in though. And when he come back in though, she draw her weapon and she get the work in that bitch. You know what I'm talking about? The cool ass gun tricks and shit. She working that motherfucker. Just to pop his ass with an absolute dragon shatter. Yeah, that shit was spectacular. Yeah, I'm fucking with the witches in this, bro. Like, for sure. Also, in the middle of her doing all of this shit, she do accept Balgo feelings for her during the episode, which was like, alright, okay. But yeah, she did some spectacular cool shit. And basically that's like the end of the little fighting sequence with Selby the dragon gone bad type shit. And later on, days later, we see them all back at the office, Nini, Noelle, and Balgo, and the chief get to explaining some stuff. He basically get to telling them Balgo been in contact with the dragon, you know, Osushi, and also he been in contact with that other thing, Selby, 10 years. And he also got bit by a dragon, so which now makes him a dragon clad, basically classifying him as a dragon. So he gets to skip out on the death penalty. Oh yeah, by the way, if I haven't mentioned, if you're a human and you touch a dragon, you can receive the death penalty, or worse, 100 years in jail. So yeah, they is not playing about the dragons. So basically through all of this, like, they decide to keep him there at the main office because they don't know what the fuck to do with him at this point, so they got to keep an eye on him. And that wraps up the episode, but we actually did end up getting an end credit scene where we see Noelle back at her apartment. She cooling on it. She watering her little dancing dragon plants. Yes, there's dancing dragon plants. Don't ask me. Just watch the episode. And anyways, she getting mail from Woodsworth. We find out is the name of her dragon. But yeah, she getting mail from her dragon. It's bringing it to her like a dog and shit. And she got Balgo with her. He in the apartment. He in there sleeping. They end up answering the call from Nini. And then basically we see them get another call from the chief where it's telling them all like, yeah, gather up, I got a mission for you. They like, whatever, but he like double the pay, triple the points, and that's the end of the episode, or end of the end credit scene. So yeah, it ended pretty fairly well. I fuck with it. 5 important things that I like to take away from this episode are: first is witches. Alright. Second, witches that ride on dragons. Alright, we're in reverse London. That's the third thing, okay? Fourth thing, we're in the western branch of the Soul Society. Very interesting. And also that we're also in the universe of Bleach. So I want to know what time period this takes in, and we actually haven't had any of those questions answered. So that's 5 major things that I'd like to say for this. Alright, so here's my official rating for the episode. Overall, what I'm going to give it is an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like it was action-packed. It gave a great introduction into the world of the Witches and Dragons, which is Burn the Witch, created by Tai Kubo, also the creator of Bleach. The graphics are amazing. The characters are engaging, with connections to the Bleach universe, adding depth to the lore. Burn the Witch offers a fresh take on the Soul Society with a focus on the Western divisions, basically, the Western branch, being that it's set in London and reverse London. So it's just a great another addition to the universe of Bleach, and I'm really definitely fucking with it. And I think that the whole concept of humans not being able to touch the dragons or interact with them, or they get jail time or a death penalty, which creates the bridge for the witches to be able to deal with the situation, is just pretty cool. And it's just an interesting concept overall, and I hope that we get to see more of it. Let me know in the comment section how you're feeling, your favorite thoughts on the episode. If you haven't seen this episode, if you have seen this episode, man, just let me know. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button and stay tapped in. And as always, one love, two peace, and I'm out. Till the next time, you dig, for sure.